Welcome back to another Tales from the Road. I'm joined by Drew Davis. Drew just released an album on YouTube. I'm going to let him tell you all about it.
Okay, well, thank you for having me. Happy to be here. My new album is on YouTube. If we're past August 30th, which I feel like we are.
Yep.
And it is called Actually Funny. It's based off of the fact that after a lot of my routines, people will come up to me after the show and be like, hey, man, you are actually funny. And so I have jokes about that now, about the weird things people say to you.
Thank you.
Yeah, it's like, okay, appreciate that. Actually,
wasn't you came to a comedy show.
Yeah.
I don't know why you're pleasantly surprised there.
Absolutely. But it's a lot of fun. It was filmed at the Station Theater in Smyrna, Tennessee. And I'd love for you to go check it out. It's on YouTube and all other platforms. And if you like it and you're like, man, I want to see more of this guy, but from the past when he was younger and maybe less funny, I have two other shorter albums that are also on YouTube, Revolutionizing Failure and $11 Jokes.
Awesome, dude.
So,
well, do you have a fun tale from the road for us?
I do. I feel like on the road you get many fun tales, but every now and again, one sticks out like that just stands the test of time.
Yeah, for sure.
And this is mine. It was the gig was in Fort Smith, Arkansas. Have you ever been to Fort Smith?
Already starting off with a bang here.
Right.
Fort Smith, Arkansas. Now I've done Little Rock and I've done. I did a corporate gig at Mena, Arkansas.
Okay, so like Little Rock is like the Arkansas you've heard of. Now I've never heard of Mena, Arkansas, but like corporate gig implies some kind of safety. Fort Smith is
it was terrible, but I got paid enough for it.
Well, there you go. Yeah,
there's I had a whole old head comic tell me one time. There's two gigs, ones you like doing, and ones that pay you to like what you're doing.
Yes, sometimes you just take the gig because you're like, well, I need a paycheck. But yeah, so this one, and it's the funny part is this was my second time at Fort Smith. I should have after the first one been like,
let's go back.
But there's this rule when you start comedy and you're wanting to get bigger and better is like you don't turn down gigs.
You don't say no.
Yeah, and then that was in my early 20s. When I look back now as a mid 30s, I'm like, maybe I should have said no.
Then you learn why you should say no.
But they said the magic words that led to that second gig, which was, we have free lodging. And I was like, well, I'm there, you know? And so the situation was this. First, it's at this really sketchy dive bar. I'm staying with the booker and his girlfriend, so we have to wait till...
Always a plus.
Always a start. Also, on the way there, I lost my debit card. So it's just, and so the plan was the next day before I left their house, they were just going to give me some cash to help me get on the road.
That's nice.
I'll tell you the ending in that. It was such a weird instance. I didn't stick around.
Okay,
I was like, I risked being
like, I'll figure it out.
Right, absolutely.
I will donate blood halfway home.
So I remember that the headliner was this large man named Dre, and on stage just absolutely hysterical and loud and boisterous, and what you think about when you think of comedian, but off stage very quiet, very subdued, hardly said much of anything. And this is important because we had to wait till about 2 for the bartender to get off so that we could all go back to the house together.
The headliner too?
Yeah, and he was staying at the same house. We both had free lodging at this little house. While we were waiting, we saw a bar fight start. And this is the funny thing about men when they watch bar fights. We at first don't try to stop it. We just watch it like
let's see how this plays
it's out. Just pro wrestling. Like we were watching the thing. And then someone said, hey, we should try to break this up in case someone has a weapon, which was a good call. So a few of us got involved. I went to pull a couple guys off of each other. This one guy who I pulled off was Hispanic and did not speak any or much English. And so I'm like, hey man, let's stop it. But I think what he said was, excuse me, sir, I would also like to participate in this. I think that's what he thought I was saying.
Like, well, kicking this.
Yeah. And so he came at me, and then out of nowhere, Dre, this big, huge dude, comes over and just punches him out and saves my life, I think. But still says like very little to me. Like, I'm like, thank you so much. And he's like, yeah, it's fine. Okay. And so we make it back to the house, and it's a very small house where 4 people are staying for the night. they must have had a dog. I'm telling myself they had a dog because there was poop all over the living room. Dried poop that had never been cleaned up.
And you didn't see said dog.
I never saw the dog, but I like to believe
that's a bold group of people that will let their dog poop inside, but then go let it stay somewhere else when people are in town.
Right? Yeah, I don't know the story there. Maybe the dog was in. Okay, it's so many years. I'm telling myself the dog was in a different room, and I didn't ever see it. But this woman, I think, I'm not much of a drug connoisseur myself, but I think she did some kind of like cocaine or something beforehand, where she had like no short-term memory.
Okay.
On the spot, she was like, "I want steaks. Do you guys want steaks?" Again, 2:00 in the morning, and back then I just rolled with the flow. Now I'd be like, "Nah, I'm just gonna go turn in." But like back then I was like, "Yeah." And so
2 a.m. steaks. Let's go. And
she like fried them on her oven, so it took forever. So we were just sitting there waiting.
4 a.m. steaks, everybody.
Yep. So, side note, not bad. They weren't, they weren't bad. But at some point, and it's so funny because I have jokes about this, but a lot of people always assume I'm gay. They hear my voice and they ask if I'm gay. I have a whole bit about it in my routine, which she heard, but she didn't remember because she was on cocaine or something. But at least 5 times as the steak was cooking, she was like, one of my gay best friends just broke up with his boyfriend, and I would love to put the two of you together. And she asked me this like 6 times until finally I was like, "I'm sorry, I'm taken." Like,
A, I'm not gay, and B, not all gay people just want to date other gay people.
Absolutely. But so the steak and her eventually left, and then I'm sitting there in the dining room, and then I have my laptop out, and this is the first time Dre speaks to me. And this is what he says for the first time ever. He says, "Hey, man, do you watch Days of Our Lives?" And I was like, "No, Dre, I don't. Do you?" He's like, I do. And here's the thing. I'm usually really caught up with the gigs this weekend. I haven't watched the latest episode, and a new episode's coming out today. So do you think we could watch the latest episode on your computer right now to catch me up? And I mean, it's 4 in the morning.
Who can say no to that?
Yeah, so I was like, sure. But remember, the living room was covered with dog poop.
Yeah.
So me and Drake basically cuddled up on a love seat so that we could both watch my laptop. And I watched an episode of Days of Our Lives as Dre's explaining to me the plot to Days of Our Lives. Like, he's with her, but she's with him, but he's actually dead, but she doesn't know it. Like, all kinds of stuff. So weird. And I was just, that was my limit. And then I decided I'm not going to stay for the rest of the few hours until this guy wakes up. So I just got in my car and I drove back. At one point, I did have to ask at a gas station for people to give me money because I did run. Because it turns out if you use Walmart or checks at Walmart to get cash back enough, they'll think it's like fraud and they'll stop. So I was without a debit card. I was without checks. I was without cash. And I finally, I asked this guy, he's like, "I hope you're not using it for drugs," but he gave me $5, and that's why I needed to make it back to Nashville. So,
goodness gracious, man! I started this segment because I wanted people to know what we go through for the name of comedy, and I could not have drawn that out better. It had fist fights, it had terrible sleeping conditions, it had asking for money.
Yeah, it's a big one. And here's the crazy thing about us comedians. Any normal person would have been like, "That's
never
it.
Again.
I'm never doing this again." But like, I'm sure I went somewhere the next weekend and I was like, let's hope it gets better.
Yeah. Wow. Well, awesome, man. Everyone go check out Drew's special on YouTube. Check out my special on YouTube. And check back in with more Tales from the Road.
Yes.